better. Let us head to Hollywood because Matt Stafford and the Rams put on an Oscar-worthy performance, not intimidated at all by Tom Brady and the defending champs. Stafford was the better of the two quarterbacks in this one. We said this was arguably the biggest game of his career, and he stepped up and showed up. 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, more than enough to get L.A. now to 3-0. For Tampa, the first taste of adversity in a long time. They had won 10 in a row. Here was Tom Brady on what went wrong yesterday.
Just not a great complimentary game by us. Got to learn from it, you know. There was some things to see and some different facets of our offense. But, you know, we just, anytime you come up short, you know, it's not a great feeling.
I feel grateful to step in the huddle with the guys that I have, both the guys up front that are playing at the level that they're playing at right now, and the guys, you know, around me in the skill position. So I'm enjoying every minute of it, trying to make the most of it, and seeing where it'll take us.
Oh, I'll bet you are enjoying every minute of being out of Detroit. Hey, Nick, did Tampa's loss say more about Brady and the Bucs or Stafford and the Rams?
Well, you know, what it said the most about, and I know it's what you all are thinking, is vindication for the Tiers. Oh, you committee members that left, you feel real stupid right now, don't you? There's all that fighting. Oh, you have the Rams over the Bucs. Well, they just kicked their teeth in on national television. But we'll move ahead to the game itself. Listen, the Rams right now deserve to be considered the favorites in the NFC. I picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. Broussard picked the Bucs. I'm not changing my pick. I don't think Broussard will change his. But right now, this moment, the Rams deserve to be the favorites. And they need two things to happen. One, we'll see. The other, we have some returns from. The we'll see is they need to stay healthy. You might say, Nick, everyone needs to stay healthy. Yeah, but there are certain teams particularly built not to withstand injuries. The Rams are one of them. They are so top-heavy with elite players that are so highly paid, they don't have the depth of most of the other really good teams in the league. But when they're healthy, they've got spectacular players at basically every position but running back, and that will carry them. The other thing that has to happen, and this is what I was concerned about early in this game, can Stafford handle the big moment? Early in the game, I was like, oh, boy. I was just waiting for somebody to blame his missed passes on the city of Detroit. Like, they're just always taking strays for Stafford's failures in his decade in Detroit. But once he settled into the game, he was outstanding. And if the moment's not going to be too big for him, the Rams are going to be incredibly difficult. Cooper Kupp has turned himself into one of the 5 best receivers, most reliable receivers in football. And Deshaun Jackson is just always going to be able to get past defenses. It's not even to mention Robert Woods. Right. They're using the tight end more this year. And, of course, Aaron Donald's Aaron Donald. Jalen Ramsey's Jalen Ramsey. So, to me, this was about the Rams showing you how good they can be. The Bucs will be fine, most notably Broussard, because unbelievably, they go the rest of the year and play one quarterback that is believed to be a top-flight quarterback. The 3 best quarterbacks they have the rest of the season is Josh Allen, then Matt Ryan, and then Jalen Hurts, I guess. So I think the Bucs have real pass defense problems, but it's not going to show up this season because they drew the NFC East and the AFC East. There's no quarterbacks. And so I think the Bucs will be okay, but I think the Rams right now deserve to be the favorites in the NFC.
All right, a few corrections, Nick. First of all, you're snoozing big time on my man Jameis. I mean, did you see what he did yesterday? 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The pass, the touchdown in the end zone after his receiver. So he's going down for the sack. I mean, my goodness. So put Jameis in there and maybe the 4th guy that they have to face. Also, the Rams should also be #1 in your tiers. Now, we'll see what happens. They're coming in the midweek. But it better not be the Chiefs. You bragged about your second group, the second tier, but you didn't brag about that first tier where the Chiefs are. So I imagine they're falling down to something like whatever your names are for struggling or whatever. You know, we'll see. But they should be #1. Now, I learned nothing about the Buccaneers. Nothing. All right. We knew their defense was struggling. And I think it'll get better, but it was not good yesterday, hasn't been good all year. No surprise. This reminded me of the midseason loss last year to the Saints, when they got hammered 38-13, they had already lost to the Saints in the season opener. So you're thinking New Orleans is a better team. Of course, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers beat them in the playoffs. So the Buccaneers fans, don't jump off the bandwagon. Don't be worried. They're going to go to New England next week, sorry, Wilds, and demolish Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So they'll be back on track. You learn nothing from them. You're right, Nick. One of the things I wanted to see Matt Stafford, I mentioned last week, he was 8-67 against teams with winning records in his career. You couldn't blame that all on the Lions. He had to take some of that on himself. And you're right, too. Early on, he missed some passes. And I was like, uh-oh, here it is. It's happening. But he settled in, and he played tremendously. And I learned something after the game about the Rams, too. I always heard in Detroit how Stafford's a great guy. His teammates love him. And the Rams really love this guy, too. Aaron Donald told us in the preseason how much he loves him and is happy to have him on the team. He said it again yesterday in the hallway or wherever. He finds Stafford, gives him a hug, I love you, all that. Like, they really ride for this guy, and that's important. So the Rams are together. The offense is looking like great. The Stafford is right there at the forefront of the MVP conversation. And defensively, Wilds, we knew how great they were. They got pressure on Brady, and they essentially held a team that has scored 30 or more points 9 straight games to really 17. We know the Buccaneers got that late drive at the end, but they really shut them down for the most part the whole game. So the Rams deserve to be not only favorites in the NFC, Wilds, but #1 on Nick's tiers. We'll see if the committee does that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And hopefully, Nick, I know there's still an opening in the committee, but I am always available. Quick train ride to your house, and I'm willing to stay all night. I will also bring coffee and some crumpets, if you like, straight from London, England. Okay, Broussard, I was surprised that you said you didn't learn anything about the Bucs, because I did. Because all year, the Bucs, with media and Bruce Arians and everyone talking like, we're bringing everybody back. We're bringing everybody back. We got all 22 starters. And me and maybe a little bit of Nick Wright were like, is that a good thing? Like, you guys are kind of getting a little too high in your own supply. You weren't that awesome during the year. You just got hot in the playoffs. And what has happened after this game? They're like, you know what? Maybe we need somebody in the secondary. They're the second worst passing defense in the league. So now we've got 3. So we've got Matt Stafford cooked them, Dak cooked them, Matt Ryan cooked them. Oh, who's up next? Oh, Mac Jones. Just what Mac Jones needs. A little bad Bucs passing defense to get on a roll. The second thing is this. You know who was the leading rusher for the Bucs? Tom Brady. So I don't know if Jones is still in the doghouse, but like Leonard Fournette ain't it. The other day, like, he's not it. So I've got to see I'm sorry. Oh, you want to talk about I'm sorry. Cardinal sin here. Gio Bernard. Gio Bernard is still out there. Maybe he deserves some more carries.
I told you guys.
The Bucs. Okay, but he didn't play great.
He had 9 catches.
He blown up. So
Nick was swooning over Gio yesterday. He was like, wow, Gio, there's your buddy Gio.
He was?
True story.
Well, he had a lot of catches. He had a lot of catches.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Sure, but if Tom Brady's your leading rusher, you're not running the ball effectively. So look, they have to run the ball effectively, and they can't stop the pass. So I'm not super high.
Still waiting for it, but go ahead, Wilds. Sorry.
Okay, look, hey, do you think that we're up here trying to hurt your feelings, Nick? Or do you think that we're all just like a family on TV caring for each other? Because on Friday, I said, hey, I tried to give you a warning. I said, buddy, it's an upset alert, and you called me